Hey guys, Showtime here today. I'm here with Ghoster and Complex. Ghoster, you want to say what's up to the people?
What's up, guys? Name's Ghost ADV. I'm the support slayer for Adversity. I haven't been in, I don't think, any of the YouTube videos. I'm pretty much going to describe what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to analyze a slayer. His name is Feeble Weeble. It's a slayer on Dome. He goes, I believe, 25 and 14. Pretty much, we're going to break down certain points and certain slayer points he makes throughout the map, and then we'll analyze the full video at the end of it.
With that being said, we're going to start the video here. The gameplay does start off pretty slow, but on the second side, he does pick it up. Just want to acknowledge who he's playing against. He's playing against Too Quick, formerly on Apex and Envious. Now, I believe I don't really know what his team name is, but he is on a team with Killa, John, and Karma, so he's not playing against any slouches here. So we'll jump right into this. We'll get it started right now. You see he's going to be pushing up here right away. See, I don't really know why he's throwing the stuns in there. I mean, obviously he hits pretty bad nade off the start. Ghoster, how do you like to break off on this side right here, preferably?
It's a good break. I think he plays it right. He sees a couple of the kids going blue. This is the play that's good. He makes a smart play, but when he looks back towards Crack, I don't agree with that. He should have just stayed alive knowing that his teammates did not have any type of blue control. He needed to play the pass if he needed to try to stay alive as long as possible and give his team a chance.
That's true. As you see the flag right there, they did get a pretty quick flag out in under 30 seconds. Pretty much what he needs to do now is set his team up. You know, if he's going to be, he told us earlier, he's an aggressive slayer. He's pretty much one of those people like Ghoster where he wants to push for the flag. Pretty much every team's going to have an aggressive slayer and a passive slayer. See right here, pretty much he's trying to play passive right now. He's trying to feel these kids' dust, make them make a mistake, make them make a push right now. There's not really much going on. What would you like to see him do right now, Ghoster, besides just posting up there? Would you want to see him push in a certain area, get the choke points, or?
I think he's making the right play right now. He's playing it passive. He's making sure none of the enemy team can make it past midpoint, and he drops back into the dome, makes a smart play. He's pretty much just playing it passive right now, letting his team get blue control, and he's just waiting for an opportunity, which is a smart thing to do as a slayer. He's just waiting for the kills to come to him because he can't push aggressive just because of the sub-dominance on this map.
Yeah, that is true. This map is very sub-dominant, so if you can have an actually good map on here, you know, you do see quite a bit of high games where you see Slayers shot 25, 30 kills, maybe an occasional rare 40 bomb. I do like what he's doing right here. He's pushing and trying to get blue control for his team. Unfortunately, he's been spotted, obviously, with the grenade, but I mean, blue control is going to be the most important thing for him to hold right now. He needs to get his subs into place and hold this control right here for his team. As you see, his team is trying to push up. You know, right here, I just think he needs to try to make something happen for his team. As he gets a nice kill, he obviously gets taken out by nade block there. Preferably, I would want to see that sub. If I had Complex with Theory, we want to see them push back hall, preferably, or have one of us jump across and try to get one of those kills right there, Ghoster.
Yeah, I agree. So far I haven't really been able to critique anything he's done. There's been a little bit of mistakes that really can cost you the game, obviously. Losing that fight in Dome was huge just because Rose was able to get the flag out. He really needed to win that, obviously. He's making the right plays for the most part, besides a couple gunfights. He's playing it good. Losing a couple gunfights, but I mean, everyone does. So far I do like what I'm seeing out of him as well, just because he's enabling blue control for his team, and that's really smart as a slayer for him to do.
That is true. You know, if one thing I want to say is if he's going to get taken out from underground, or how he got taken out when he was back satellite, you know, those are the kind of deaths you can live with, because you're going to get flanked, you know, you're going to get taken out from behind. You know, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, if you have your team in Dome, you know, you're occasionally going to get picked, but the main thing is he's trying to control blue for his team. You know, that's the one thing I see him not doing. He's not overextending. He's not trying to make an overly aggressive play that wouldn't be intelligent for his team. He's playing it passive. As you can see right now, he notices he was the last one up right there. You know, he's just playing it passive in the base, trying to get some kills. He unfortunately gets taken out, but at the same time, his team's spawning up. Two of them were overextending, but they do have an AR in the base.
I do want to point out something in Dome. When he did challenge Too Quick, I believe, satellite. That's a play that really can cost you a game, or at least a flag cap. He did kill Rose in the flag, which was clutch considering his team was 3 down. But he really needed to stay on that left side because it enables him to just stay there, and the other team will have to push him. If he goes to that right side, Red Crate and Satellite both can spot him. Right here, he does go clutch, getting a good 2-piece, one on Crack, the other one on his support in mid, enabling his team to push up. Really, right now, from what I see with this team, though, they really need to extend their dome, which they have. But right there, he made a smart play and stopped the flag.
Yeah, I like what I saw in him right there. You know, he got that nice two-piece for the return. He unfortunately got taken out from Too Quick on Satellite, but you know, Too Quick has an amazing shot in its own, so I mean, there's nothing to be depressed, you know, get down about. Yeah. He played it well. He played it smart. He got up top dome, stopped that flag, and it's just he's playing everything right for his team right now, holding the correct areas. Unfortunately, it looks like the other team did overextend, and they are gonna get that pull out front. I don't know if they'll be able to cap this, but I like what he's doing right here. You know what I mean, Guster? He's not overextending. He's not panicking. He's making sure that his team doesn't get relayed on. You know, he's a lot of amateur people and even pro people. You know, I mean, me and Ghoster, we do it too, where we'll overextend trying to make a play that's unnecessary and we get taken out. But it takes our teammates to correct us to say, you know, we don't need to do that. We need to get back in dome. And he's making the smart move right now, just playing it and controlling his base. You know, I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do on the second side right here.
This team being down 2 flags, obviously they're going to need to get aggressive. He's going to need to force control. I'm really excited to see what he does pull out on this second side. But right there for the final kill, it was smart for him to do that. I mean, there was not a lot of time left, so the other team could not do much. But staying alive, red crate enables your team again to push out of dome and get some control. And you can get some really good kills. Even if it's 1 kill and you die, you enabled some control with your team because they are going to be on the offensive.
Exactly. Well, I mean, one thing that we want to get apart is if you're going to be a Slayer like he is, you got to have chemistry with your other Slayer. You know, you got to be able to know exactly what your other Slayer is going to do. If you're going to push a certain area, you got to be able to know that your other Slayer is going to be able to, you know, get that other side of the spawn trap or help you block that spawn. You know, that chemistry with the other guy that you're going to be next to running an AR with can make or break a lot of caps. I'm going to bring Complex actually in for this because he's, you know, we've been teaming with Complex for a while. Complex knows me and Ghoster very well. Do you want to kind of elaborate on how the Slayers, you know, if they're in sync, how well that works out for OBJs like you in theory and other OBJs out there?
Yeah, it does because, for me in theory is I know when I'm supposed to pull the flag and when he's supposed to pull the flag. So like for example in dome, like we're not gonna both be pushing in dome at the same time, and then get 2-piece. I know he's gonna go in for the flag. I'm gonna cover him out when he runs out. So I mean, chemistry does a lot, except for Slayer because like you don't want 2 Slayer in the same choke point. You know what I mean? Like you guys have to know where you're gonna go, which Slayer is getting which choke point. So that's pretty much what our chemistry is, and we have a lot of that, and you know, it's gonna keep getting better.
Exactly, and that's the thing is, if you have chemistry not only with the person you're running with, you know, if it's another SMG player or if it's an AR player, it's just gonna make your job, your role that much easier. You know, if I can position myself on the map somewhere and know that my other opposition or my other teammate Ghoster is gonna be in the same spot. I mean, in a different spot, you know, coordinating with me so we can help our teammates get those flags out. That's going to be, you know, it's going to help our team that much better to get caps. You know, right now he needs to be in sync with his other AR player. It seems like they're separating each other way too much. They do have 3 ARs, it looks like, so I mean, that's obviously not smart in its own in this game. But I like how he's playing it right now. You know, he's trying to get out of those base. He's trying to control blue. It looks like he's trying to get back in his base to make sure that they don't get a pull out.
And I'll point something out. With them being down 4 flags right now, they really do need to push aggressive, and really their subs need to get aggressive. He is not pushing down blue. He's playing it passive, playing it as if they have no one in blue. He's playing it so defensive on his base. He really needs to start pushing and start getting some caps because they are down 4 flags and there are only 2.5 minutes left in this game.
I think what they need to do is they need to pull out 3 subs or even 4, because if the other team want to play defense, all they have to do is put Too Quick behind a satellite and they will never get past blue.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, he's controlling blue very well. You know, his team is unfortunately, it looks like they're going to, I don't know if they'll be able to come back here in this game, which is going to obviously be kind of a downer for himself. But I like what he's doing here. He's controlling blue, getting the kills. He's trying to set his SMG players up if they decide they do want to pull out 2 or 3 SMGs. He's doing everything correct. He's in the correct spots he needs to be. You know, he's doing the same things he needs to do. He's down positions that are completely useless for his team. He's holding down the power positions right there. Blue is a huge power position on this map. Satellite is huge because you can watch him coming out of dome and you can watch that spawn to his right.
I do want to point out that previous blue play. he whether he died or not, he needed to get aggressive there because, like I pointed out before, they are down in flags. They're down quite a bit of flags with very limited time left. He needed to get aggressive and try to get that re, because that re would have saved them at least a counter cap, or at least prevented of the cap. I mean,
I wanna elaborate on this play right now. Actually, since we're into it, right here, they had 4 down right there. Okay, he was sitting blue and he had a teammate running into dome. He just really got a nice pistol shot though. But he should have. His teammate was actually was spawning up inside of his base, blue side, and they had nobody covering that middle plat area. And if he's already having a teammate pushing down blue, you know, you need to have that map awareness, looking at your mini map, be pushing over to that middle area so you can control that middle and try to get a relay if it's up the middle or if it's blue again. You know, you can't just leave that middle dirt road area completely open for that spawn, because they can overextend through underground and they can come up through your base, or they can just it could bust your they could break out of that easily in any second. And that's one thing right there that I think he should have done a little bit differently, position himself, or his teammate could have positioned himself a little bit differently depending on who could move, you know, the quickest. You know, it looks like they are we're winding down this gameplay here, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be able to come back. But in all, I've been pretty impressed with how he plays. I think there's a little bit he can work on. You know, he does have the knowledge of the power positions he needs to hold. Do you have any thoughts about anything, Ghoster, about it?
No, I agree with what he did. Obviously, there was a couple too passive moments. I mean, I'm an aggressive Slayer at times, but I do play the passive role, and I do play the point where I stay back. I make sure my base is clear. I make sure my teammates can push up, and me staying back and getting kills enables that. Overall, he did control the power positions very well. He was on that side. He did pick up quite a few kills on back satellite, which is obviously huge because it locks the other team in dome. Overall, I would honestly give this gameplay around a B-ish. If you want to put it on a grade level, he played it smart. He did as much as he could for his team. His team really needed to try to pick up the slack as much as possible. He controlled the power positions. He didn't lose a lot of his gunfights. The only downside I could really see to that are obviously the passive plays that he was making when his team was down. Other than that, I really have no other opinion on it.
I would grade his gameplay probably about a B, same area. A couple of things I think he should work on is probably going to be, you know, watching that mini map. Make sure you have the map control, making sure you're in places where, you know, your teammates aren't going to be. If you have 3 teammates blue or with somebody pulling flag and another guy running down blue, you got to take the initiative. Like, okay, I'm going to push middle plat area to make sure that they don't overextend. I think you know, from this gameplay, he has the skill to do it. I think he just needs to think through a little bit more of the things properly and make sure he realizes his full surroundings on the map wise. Other than that, I mean, I appreciate him giving his gameplay, guys. Any comments? You know, anything else you want to see from this series, let us know. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Esports Nation, Team Equilibrium, Gamer Gloves, anybody else. We are going to be doing a review on Gung Ho here pretty soon, Squid Grip, and I believe it was Infected Audio, their new headset coming out from EU that we have a couple sponsors sending us some headsets so we can review those for you guys as well. Other than that, if you guys have any other questions about the video, let us know. We will be trying to upload these as much as possible going into Black Ops 2. So if you guys have any slaying gameplay for the end of this game, we might be doing another one on Monday, maybe Sunday. Let us know. We'll be uploading these in Black Ops 2 as we will be uploading content pretty much daily. So other than that, you guys have anything else to say before we sign off here, boys?
No.
AOD!
I'm good. AOD.
All right, see you later, guys. Peace.